Yeah!
Come on, dude.
No.
My buddy just got a home gym.
Yeah.
It's so sick, dude. I worked out there yesterday.
Alright.
You don't even care when I'm talking to you.
That's great.
What is
this?
I bet you can't ride this.
What is that thing?
It's a fucking new skateboard I made.
Wow. Damn.
And then you walk with it. It's like for this.
Wow. How heavy is it?
Not heavy. I think the bar is probably like 45, and then there's 25s on here, so
Wow.
what is that, 95 pounds?
It's pretty heavy. Let me try. I don't think it's good for a rotator cuff, though. I'll probably.
No. Yeah, maybe you should.
I just want to feel though. I'm not gonna go. Because
Lift
it's
with your legs.
more up like this, you know. Yeah.
Lift with your legs, not your back. Straighten your back out. Put your ass out. You can hurt your back doing that.
Did I not straighten my back?
It's like round up top. You're supposed to like fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Push your ass out. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
like-
do it though because it did feel weird on my.
So yeah, you want to like push your fucking ass out. Hinge. You lift with your legs, and then straighten out at the top.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Off Grid Skater YouTube channel. We're standing here at Keen Ramps with Dale.
Yeah.
So like you're one of the first YouTubers that I actually met, and
Yeah.
like so I came from kind of like being off grid, and off grid meant like offline. So I literally was offline for like 10 years. I come into LA and then I started meeting you, and I was like, oh damn, this is cool what you do. But I didn't really see your heyday. So like when did you start YouTube?
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. 9 years ago.
So like when you
Crazy.
started, I remember you telling me like you did like you posted a video every day for a year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
Right before I turned 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to do that? John Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about John Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. I mean, I was friends with him. I became friends with him like right when I moved here, like in 2013. So, yeah. And then he started doing the YouTube thing, and then like, you know, we all fucking made fun of him for it.
Yeah.
And then
we all made fun of YouTube. For a
yeah.
while.
But then I started like watching his videos, and it became a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Soon to be not guilty pleasure. Soon to be like, oh shit, he makes money doing that and doesn't have to get a job. Like he makes enough money to not get a job, let alone makes enough money to like get an apartment by yourself. Like I want to do that. So I started doing it. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to start building momentum?
I built it right away because John helped me. Because John was moving back to California, and he needed help with his channel, like someone to help film, someone to film videos with.
Kind of like a Dan Corrigan situation a little bit.
Sure, but
I think every YouTuber ends up kind of inspiring another YouTuber, then a new generation's formed. Like
that's exactly how it happened.
Like for example, real quick. I mean, we'll go into this as we go. We're just having a conversation, but like Braille kind of like took the market. Braille and what was the other one?
Revive.
Like Braille and Revive. They were the ones that were like, okay, we're gonna kind of like turn this into a big thing. Then obviously recently they all fell apart. I guess Braille obviously. Well, I guess they're still going. But
so there's like 4 OGs.
Yeah. Let's hear your perspective.
It's Andy, Schrock, Braille, I would say, but I think Braille might have even came like a few years after like these other 3. So Andy, Nigel, and then I always forget his real fucking name. So
Joel?
No, his Black Ninja on YouTube.
Oh yeah, well Black Ninja's in a class of his own. Almost.
But he's an OG though.
Yeah.
He was the first. I believe he was the first skate channel. It was either him or Nigel, and then so those 4 are like the 4 that kind of like started the thing. Like they built the skate audience cult on YouTube.
What year was that? Do you know?
Fucking
2009?
late 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your view on Metro skateboarding?
I mean, I just knew they were an Instagram account that went viral all the time. I didn't really know too much about them. I know I was not familiar with the YouTube world prior to me jumping into it at all.
Got it.
Like I never watched YouTube. I didn't know YouTubers were a thing.
Same.
Like I knew that people played video games professionally for a living, but I did not know that like someone like PewDiePie or Casey Neistat like existed. That's who was like big at the time when I got on, you know? So like I had no idea that like the fucking influencer creator, what do they call it now? They call it the fucking creator economy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that was a thing.
Same. Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's where I came from. But like, so I've always kind of been an artist and a skateboarder, and like I was all like, fuck corporations, fucking like YouTube, all that shit.
Yeah.
But obviously here we are now, you know, and it's like
it's pretty dystopian. It's crazy.
It really is. But like, was it hard for you at first? Like, what was the mental process starting a YouTube channel in 2016, and then like we'll go into further on.
Yeah, so like I mean, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. Like the thing that it was pretty emotionally, like not emotionally, mentally, emotionally. It might have been emotionally taxing on my relationship at the time.
Oh shit.
But it was mentally taxing in terms of like, all right, I'm gonna go film all day and then edit a video at night so I can have it up. You know, like doing that all day, every day was like a lot, but it was super overpowered by my excitement to do it. So like for the first year, you're running on those like honeymoon cloud 9 like feelings about like, at least I was excited that like, it was the first time that I like ever like quote unquote like worked for myself, you know?
Right.
And I mean, really what you're doing when you like are a YouTuber, you're a contractor. You fill out a 1099, right? You know, it's not like, I mean, sure, it's like if you want to call it like a YouTube channel as a business. Like I used to say that shit, and it's like that is like to me now. I'm like, God, that's so fucking cringe. Like, I mean, that's just like that's an opinion. It's neither here nor there, but it is like it's like fucking opening a lemonade stand and being like, I have business. You know? It's like like sure, but you got a lot of work to do. You know, like so. In any case, to get back to your
it's great.
To get back to your question, the first year it was like, you know, honeymoon phase. Like it didn't really feel like much work. Like it was a lot of work, but I didn't care, you know, because I was so excited to do it.
A couple things I want to get into, like as we talk to and kind of keep in mind is like, so when I asked if it was hard, I obviously I think YouTube in general is just the concept of like uploading videos and putting yourself out there is like a difficult thing.
Yeah.
In one aspect,
it's vulnerable.
But the other thing too is like, hasn't the platform sort of made it easier to use now? Like, and I don't know if you're too familiar with that because you've said that you're like kind of removed from it. But I mean,
I just mean like removed from like the scene. Later, I'm removed from the scene, but I'm always like paying attention.
So you know all the new features of YouTube, for example. Like this was something I wanted to ask you about too, which is new. But obviously, like it's so much easier to upload videos than it's ever been.
What do you mean? Like
well, we'll get into the feature I wanted to talk about was how you can now put products directly in.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. We don't use it on Corey's shit, and I mean like I probably would use it if I was still doing like slamming and like when I was doing all that shit, you know?
Because it's been helpful for me even as like a small channel.
Do you sell products through it?
I've been getting some movement, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I just opened it like a week ago.
See, me in my mind, I'd be like, oh, no one's gonna do this.
Yeah, I just found out that my Shopify, I didn't click like one button though, so nobody was able to order for like a month.
Yeah.
So it had been on there and I wasn't getting sales. But as soon as I figured it out, I started getting sales. So I was like,
I know that it's like, you know, when you make it like super easy to just click and buy something, like people are more likely to buy it. But like, dude, in my mind, I always have this like viewpoint of like, oh, no one's gonna use that. Like no one uses the new features when they first come out. It takes time.
I think, but that's kind of like,
I think that's a bad view to have.
That's like what stopped me from using social media for so long.
Yeah.
Like the same mentality of being like, oh wait, oh like that's like, oh Instagram, that's lame. Like, why would you do that? Or TikTok, why would you do that? And now it's like, I'm freaking kicking myself in the butt because I kind of wish I would have started sooner. But then again, that's all relative.
It is, but it's like, you know, what I have to say about that is like it's we want other people. I mean, maybe I'm like speaking from my own personal standpoint, but it's like we want other people to like figure out the dirty work and how it works first before we jump in and see if it works.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
like, had I known this YouTube thing was a thing, I would have done it in 2010. But like back then, it was like harder to do. No one really had it figured out. The cult skateboard fan base that is on YouTube wasn't really there. Like,
Right.
you know, you
Right.
you might have these like these people that are on YouTube that might hate on Braille or Andy Schrock, and they're like fans of like, you know, Dan or Gifted Hater or all these people that are like much cooler now in the eyes of these kids. But the reason there is even a pit to pull from on YouTube is from the people who started it. And yeah, you can make the argument that like, oh yeah, but you know, they were just there at the right time. If it wasn't them, it would have been someone else. But it's like, but it wasn't.
Well, there's always been a market for skateboard. Well, there's always been and will be a market for skateboarding as long as it exists. Just like there'll always be entertainment, and I think it's like just tapping into that.
Sure, but like, what niches can we think of that like? I mean, there's probably every niche on YouTube, but
Now,
like,
yeah.
let's think like 10, 12, 15 years ago, before like a certain niche was on YouTube. Like somebody had to like start like the first YouTube channel of that niche and create the niche around it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I'm saying with skating. So it's like the reason there is that cult following of people that pay attention to like skateboarding on YouTube is because of the people that were there first.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely,
like the Nigels, the Andys, the Black Ninjas. Yeah.
But I feel like there's still like a time thing that happens too. Like if you look at like Garrett's situation, and
Garrett's also kind of an OG too.
That's what I'm saying, and he often talks about like, so his whole thing right now is like, yeah, I'm a skateboarder, but you know, here I am like learning how to do CNC and how to weld.
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
like,
he's growing up, you know.
But I think like what happened is his audience has grown with him too.
Yeah.
And I also think like in a way skateboarding is growing, and so that right there leaves a lot of room for evolution in all of it, which makes it sort of uncertain. I feel like, does that make sense?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like I'm kind of in terms of like where it's gonna go. For example, like what do you think? Where do
I think this YouTube thing is gonna go?
Yeah, where do you think YouTube thinks?
I mean, I think it's just another social media platform, and YouTube does the best revenue split. So like it reinforces people to like want to always start channels.
Yeah.
So like as long as they have that business model, people are gonna go to YouTube, right? And in our generation, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like, dude, when I at night, like, and Drea fucking hates this, my chick. She like, my first app that I open on the fucking TV is YouTube. Like, I just want to watch random shit on YouTube. I don't want to fucking watch TV. I want to, like, even the most random shit. Like, that's what I want to watch, you know? So I think that's a lot of our generation. So, like, we're going to take that with us for the next 20, 30 years.
Do you consider yourself well, you're a millennial, right?
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, I guess we're both
I'm like
millennials.
smack dab in the middle.
Okay. What year were you born?
90.
90, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know it starts in, what, 1981?
It's, ish. And then it ends like 96.
Yeah. So I'm like on the second half of millennial, but
Right.
I'm like in the middle.
So obviously, like, the skateboarding industry is sort of struggling right now,
Yeah.
in theory.
Mhm.
So how do you think of that in conjunction with skate YouTube channels? Like, where do you see the future of skate YouTube channels?
Dude, the only thing you need with, sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
The only thing you need with like YouTube is to like get good views. Like, I don't think that has anything to really do with the skate. I mean, so I guess it does. What it has to do with the skate industry is that, like, okay, so if more people are watching skating content on YouTube, that means there's more people interested in skating. So if those people buy fucking skate shit, then like the industry's gonna do well, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think. Oh wait, I guess. So are you asking me like, how does like are views down in YouTube skateboarding world?
No. I mean, so sales are down in skateboarding industry.
Yeah.
Is that, or can it be affected by YouTube viewership?
Like, is YouTube a variable in affecting sales in the skateboard industry?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I shouldn't say not at all, because I think it can affect it in a positive way, but I don't necessarily. I'm trying to think of how, and I'm kind of like putting this together on the spot right now.
This is just a conversation.
I don't know how it would affect it negatively unless like YouTube somehow over inflated skating and everyone got super exposed really rapidly and then got super bored really quickly. But like the big skate explosion already happened 20 years ago in the early 2000s from like MTV, Jackass, Bam, and all that shit. So like,
so in a way, sorry, I don't.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So in a way, it kind of like you've always, skateboarding's always needed those media outlets in order to still make sales and generate sales. Just now it seems that it's going from like MTV and skate video culture to YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, not YouTube specifically though, just internet in general.
Internet.
Yeah. I think us on YouTube, and I'm guilty of this too, tend to think that like YouTube exists in its own bubble outside of the rest of social media, you know, but it doesn't. They're kind of all the same thing. Like there's giant like skate accounts and there's giant TikTok skate accounts.
What are some of your favorite accounts right now?
I don't really watch skate content. The only person that I like watch, and I don't watch every single video, but like I feel like lately he's been posting a lot of good stuff, but the only person that like I kind of watch every time they post is Gifted Hater.
Yeah.
And it's because like, you know, I'm more interested in hearing someone talk than I am seeing someone skate. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, all the bangers from all the videos that get dropped get posted on Instagram. So like, I don't know. I have like a cynical take on it.
No, I know. That's why I really love, like, that's why I wanted to talk to Dale, because I feel like you're like a good perspective on it all, and even for me, just personally, just to like shoot the shit with you. But let's kind of like just step back just a little bit. I wanted to kind of understand. So, 2016, you did it for a year. You were like really into it.
Yeah.
And then were you like making money that was like sustainable?
Yeah, I was making enough to literally get by and like to have like a studio apartment.
Okay.
You know, but like nothing crazy, dude. Like I was literally making like enough just to be able to afford all my bills, and then by the time everything was paid, like my next shit came in, you know, and then my next check came in, and then I started, you know, I was doing slamming, that was buying me some time, and then at one point I had to like go get a job, and I was like, okay, fuck it, this YouTube thing, like I can't just do this, I gotta go get a job. Did that for 6 months, fucking hated that.
That was like 2020, right?
That was 2019.
2019.
The beginning of 2019, I started a job at a rehab.
So 3 years, for 3 years you were kind of like coasting, just getting by.
Yeah.
How was your mental health?
Towards the end, it was like annoying, dude, because I mean, it's like I got jaded pretty quickly about like chasing numbers and views and being like, and like, dude, I'm chasing it because I'm like, I want this to work because I want to do this for like a living, but it's also confusing because like my passion's intertwined.
Right.
So I'm burning out my passion. My passion is turning into a job.
Right.
So it's like, it's all this shit that's like happening at once. And I'm kind of like, but like, I want to do something that I enjoy for a living, and I want to fucking chase my dreams or whatever my dreams were at the time. Like I just wanted to be able to like skate and make money. Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know.
That really actually hits home for me, and I'm sure that hits home for all YouTubers around the board. And it's like, and then also you got like the audience. They're like, "You really inspired me, bro," and you like kind of feel this,
but okay, and while that means like so much, like, you know, and like I try to like have conversations with people in my DMs and in the comments, and like, you know, you get people that tell you like, oh, don't fucking read the comments, don't listen to these people and what they say, don't like, those are just comments, those are haters. Like first of all, I hate that fucking mentality. People are like, oh, they're just haters. I'm like, dude, that's actually a person though with like an opinion. Like, you can't take the guy seriously that's like, fuck you, you're gay, kill yourself. Like, obviously I'm not gonna take that guy seriously, but when someone like leaves a heartfelt message, whether it's nice or constructive criticism, like just because it bothers you and makes you feel badly doesn't mean you should shrug it off as like, oh, it's just a hater.
Yeah.
Like, it bothers you because probably it's true.
That's a real ass statement. Yeah, you're right. I'm like kind of going through that, too. And that's like the number one thing I hear all creators say all the time. Like even Garrett posted something the other day. He's like, I've been doing this 12 years, but still like, a hurtful comment's a hurtful comment. And, it's constructive criticism. What were the ways that you would deal with it? It seems like you're kind of like in a better headspace now than you've ever were.
It's because I'm removed, I don't really like put all my fucking, I don't know. I'm in like a different place. I didn't really realize that like when I first started doing this, like I didn't really realize that what I was doing was like being an influencer. And then once I like kind of became this like influencer, it was like cool for a little bit. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like kids say what's up to me at the skate park. And then like very quickly after, I kind of felt like really weird about it because I was like, oh, this all feels super narcissistic. And I don't know. Some people could argue that like, oh, you're shooting your own success in the foot. You're self-sabotaging or whatever. Regardless, it fucking felt weird to me. Like that's kind of why I stopped like doing slamming because I'm like, we don't need another fucking t-shirt company.
I want to actually, I want to pause on that note, and to the viewers, everybody who's going to be watching this, they're obviously going to have all your opinions. And I want to just say that like, these conversations are important for us as influencers and for all of us so that we can have dialogue and understand, there's real human emotion behind these situations.
This is the other thing
and this is real quick, sorry. This is beautiful that he's able to express this without being completely like, holding it all in and like, I just think it's important to talk about.
No, it is for sure. Yeah. But this is the thing that also like, I feel like I don't want to have to like justify myself to the internet for why I do certain things or why I say certain things or why I say certain things in a certain way. Because I interact with all the people that I interact with every day in my life. But like me doing this like fucking internet influencer thing kind of led me into a place, like I already overanalyze everything. So like it led me more into that direction of just like overanalyzing like how I'm coming across to other people that I've never even met in this parasocial relationship that they have with me. And I try to like somehow be self-aware of that and give someone the time of the day by like, so I'm trying to like keep track of all of this shit. And I'm just like, and like, I'm just tired of like feeling the need to justify myself to people. I don't need to do that.
Right. That's a really, really interesting thing to point out.
These could all be also personal struggles for just like me. Like I don't know, absolutely. Like maybe Dan doesn't feel this way. Maybe like Corey doesn't feel this way. But for me, like that's like how I felt. And I just like, I think like all of that shit kind of can lead to burnout. And it's like, eventually you just kind of like what you love to do kind of just turns into a job. But I'm like, make no mistake, like this isn't me complaining. Yeah. Like I'm just telling you the course of the way things like happen.
This is where he's thinking about what you guys are thinking now.
For sure, you're not wrong at all. 100%.
And that's
what people say. They're like, oh, if I fucking could do that, and then I'm like, yeah, really? Do you wish that your skating was fucking tainted with work?
So if we look at all the YouTubers, I mean, let's not forget Ricky Glosser too.
Yeah.
Like, if we look at all of them, like, is being a YouTuber a sustainable thing over time? Or is it a gateway into finding the influencer to find themselves? Maybe while you guys are simultaneously finding yourselves, and at some point we like break away, like Dale's doing, where you're more behind the lens. You do jiu-jitsu.
I mean, yeah, dude, I'm just trying to fucking have like money, like a job, like my channel doesn't make any money right now. You know what I mean? So I kind of like ended up in this weird place of like, oh, I'm like, like I had like a few really good years around the pandemic, where like I was doing really well. And then like, it can just easily like a new shiny toy, new content creator can just come in and like, take all the attention away. And like there's nothing wrong with that. Like it was a fucking free world. Like, but I'm just saying like it just but like, so you have that, And then like also you could also get fired from your fucking job. Like corporations and shareholders own these fucking corporations. Like, dude, my chick works for a company that she works for Ruka. And she went through 2 acquisitions this last year. God, all of this is so all over the place. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking all over the board.
That's fine.
Her company went through 2 acquisitions, like in the last like 3 years. Right? So twice in the last 3 years, she was terrified about losing her job and getting laid off, and like she's at like the mercy of these shareholders. You know, so it's like there really is no fucking security, but it's like you kind of just make it work with what you do. So
do you know? Well, that kind of leads me to a little bit of like about my own experience and journey with this. It's like, so the thing about me was I was like always rebelled against all of like capitalism and social media. I was like, fuck all that shit. I even rebelled against the skate industry. I was like, no, I'm gonna just do my own thing. And it's weird because it led me to off-grid, which then led me to sort of like around the late 2000s into YouTube. Like because I was learning shit around off-grid. I was like trying to learn stuff, so I'd go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I was like watching like new influence, like it went from like, oh, let me figure out how to do this to, oh, I'm seeing this guy's videos a lot now. Oh wait, this guy has a whole channel now about like fixing fucking plumbing or whatever it is or solar. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, wait a second, I'm fucking sitting here out in the middle of nowhere watching this guy do it. Why can't I do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was like, wait, I'm a skater too. And so it kind of like merged together. And I'm trying to, like, so the thing about off-grid is that, and I think you could probably relate to this, is ultimately to remedy that feeling of feeling like burnout or being like, whatever is, you kind of want to like step outside of it, right? Like, you probably think off-grid is kind of, like, would you go off-grid? Do you think you could do that?
Yeah, but I mean, I also like...
You like your city stuff?
I like the amenities that a city has, but I love and I romanticize the idea of like living in a small town, living in the woods. I do it all the fucking time.
Me too, yeah.
I mean, I'm from like fucking cornfields, dude.
Where
like,
are you from?
I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
Like middle of nowhere, you
Yeah.
know? So it's not like, I'm not from like any major city. But
I kind of had like a little escape. Like my whole I fantasize about building this whole channel, going on cool adventures, being the best skateboarder that I could be, and then just fucking disappearing. That's like my romantic dream. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but I've already built an off-grid compound, and I've already learned that I'm not gonna stay out there all the time. Like I need to skate. So.
See, I just wouldn't like, it's funny, I wouldn't want to live like where am I going to train if I live off grid? You know what I mean?
You can train off grid.
Yeah, but like, I'm going to have to like drive somewhere super far to probably.
No. I'm gonna show you this guy. He does all his workouts in nature. Have you ever heard of him? Move like a
No, but I mean like train jujitsu.
Oh, train jujitsu.
Yeah, like I need people to train.
I get it.
And people are in cities, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to live off grid.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. It's like it's a funny, cool idea, and it's now a sellable product on YouTube. But at the same time,
I know, homesteading's like a thing.
I know.
It's a whole niche.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's funny because like for me, like I was just a skateboarder, off-grid skater, and then it's kind of weird. Did you notice like people started calling like a certain type of skating off-grid? Like people, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, people oftentimes are like, that's an off-grid spot. I get like messages of like rocks.
Oh, you've kind of already like.
I've become like the off-grid
like
guy.
Coined the term. Niche meme type thing. That's sick. That's cool.
It's whatever.
But
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I think the farther things, because you've asked me several questions and I didn't really
back into it.
I didn't answer. I always end up like starting to explain them and then branch off. Like sometimes I just fucking have a hard time focusing and like staying on topic because like I have a lot to say when it comes to things like this. And I don't really talk about it.
I love it. I love it.
So like when it comes up, I'm doing it literally right now.
Yeah. And I'm not like
now.
I'm just some random dude interviewing this guy. Like I don't have a course of.
We haven't known each other for 5 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think the internet economy in terms of making money is going to go away anytime soon. It's just going to change into different thing. Like people are going to fucking start using AI. And dude, that's a whole like another conversation.
Oh, I know.
I just see like people pushing back on it, and like I have not engaged in that conversation, and like I'm not really at a place where I can give a shit yet. But I'm just saying like that's coming. Like no one's stopping that. We already live in a dystopia. So like we're already at the mercy of like this app and all these other apps. And
do you want to hear just real quick? I want you to get back to your points, but my theory is, and this goes for like skateboarding, and you guys want to talk about it in the comments, you can, because I would love to have this conversation. But I believe that right now we're in the final era of physical skating, and I think it's gonna, by the end of our lifetime, it's gonna transcend to only virtual reality skateboarding.
It could be true. I think sports are a very modern thing, dude.
Yeah.
Sports are like a very. I mean, yeah, we had sports. You had like fucking. I mean, the Olympics have been around forever, but I'm talking like modern sports of like ball sports and especially extreme sports.
Wait, I'm sorry. What kind of sport?
Ball sports. And especially extreme sports, like those are all very like new things, like
extreme sports for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, people used to say skating was a fad, and then you've had arguments like, oh, see, it wasn't. Now I'm mid-30s and I'm still doing the skate thing.
Fucking
Skating,
40s, yeah.
skating,
60-year-olds
literally could be dead in 40 years though, and then like it was a fad. I don't know. It's like
I truly believe it'll be something people just play on a video game.
Yeah, I think you asked me this earlier. I think people, and I forget what it was about. I forget why I had this thought to which question you asked me, but I think people are becoming less interested in skating.
Yeah.
The wow factor is gone. Like,
for sure.
Because the thing that was super impressive to me was like, oh, you can like grind down rails. And I didn't care what the medium was, if it was skating, scootering, rollerblades, BMX. I was like, that is the craziest shit. The concept of grinding was super crazy.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's kind of been exposed to it now. It's not like super fascinating.
Yeah, and especially like it was really cool recently just to see like the acceleration of women. Like women and trans. Nobody was expecting that. That was like mind-boggling. And now I'm like, I almost like. Not for anything, but I like to watch girls skate just because it's new and unique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just constantly evolving. And I can't see how much further it can go than that, other than points on a scoreboard, like in the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Yeah, I also like will think too. I don't know if I'm like the right person to ask, because I think a lot of stuff with skating now just kind of bores me.
Right.
I don't like. I feel like some people might be like, "Oh, that's cynical," but it's not. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just interested. I don't know. I'm just kind of like bored of it.
I'm kind of partially there, but I've like invested so much. I'm on decade 3.
See, yeah. I mean, that's how I feel too. I've invested my entire life into it. I'm not gonna ever stop because I like enjoy it, and it's kind of like such a big piece of me that like, there's no reason to just like abandon it.
But then you got someone like Dan, who's like. Dan freaking loves skateboarding, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
He skates every day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking hyped for him, But it's like
I can't do that. I need to like go out into the woods or go build stuff or like do something else other than skating. But I always creep back into YouTube. But was there any other things that you were trying to get back to? As far as,
I don't remember. No, not right now.
Yeah.
I think that was like
the stream of consciousness that you could we could muster
up.
up.
I could muster up.
Well, let's just think of a little wrap up kind of thing.
Good.
Then.
I feel like we got a lot of good
No,
shit,
that was
right?
great.
Yeah.
I'm just like an obsessive skateboarder / YouTuber that like
that's
likes
sick.
to get as much.
It's cool that you're like super you're like really starry-eyed about it. Like, that's sick. I miss that. I miss that though. Like, I miss being really starry-eyed about YouTube.
Yeah.
Because like now I'm just like, it's nice. It's a really nice change of pace doing it for Corey, because like it's my job. It involves skateboarding. I get to skate, and everything's just kind of
and you get to build stuff. And like, DIY
and we get to shoot the shit and make fun of each other and poke fun. It's like it's really fun, but it's all very much in this structure of like, I'm hired. Yes, I get to skate. but I am doing a job. Like he contracts me to do this, you know. So it's like, it's a lot less stressful, and it just is like it's. I'm just seeing it from a different lens. I'm just not like starry-eyed about YouTube like I once was, and it was like, but that's gonna go away no matter what.
The reason why I'm starry-eyed is because for me, and you know, think about it, I'm like almost 40. This is like, to document has always been sort of like a dream of mine.
Yeah.
I did go to art school, like, you know, I was editing in like the early 2000s on like shitty things. Like I always wanted to do it, but I was so against it for so long. But then finally after fucking 38 years, I started to feel like I figured it out, like how to actually physically do it. So now I'm like, just trying to get as much as I can. I don't know where I see.
I mean, if you're enjoying it though, you know, so it's like
I enjoy it, but I struggle with the amount of work that it takes to sit on the computer because I don't like it.
Yeah, the consistency.
Yeah. Do you have any like last words about that? Like any tips
I think
of advice?
Consistency, and like years ago, I would have said like, yeah, pay attention to the meta on YouTube and like what's popular and see how you can like take from that and like make your channel better. But it's like, dude, we have enough like fucking like wannabe influencers on YouTube. Like literally, let's see who you are.
Yeah.
Like we don't need any more fucking like Mr. Beast like influencer clones. Like I don't watch any of that shit. Yeah, I'd rather watch like a 15-year-old kid or fucking a 50-year-old guy, like people sharing raw emotion.
Interesting.
That's like, I'm not fucking, I don't know.
That's so
I'm not, and I feel like I might even sound like super pompous right now, being like, I'm above that. But I'm just saying like, here I go again. Being concerned about,
and you look at the camera too.
Being concerned about like what other people think of me, but it's like, I'm just tired of it. Just be you, be authentic. Like that's what YouTube is. Like that's what it started out as, and I feel like it's kind of getting back to that now.
Yeah. Dang, dude. You know, honestly, dude, I feel like we could like talk another 2 hours.
Dude, for sure.
We're not gonna, obviously, but
for sure.
I'm gonna let this guy go because I really appreciate that.
Dude, of course.
Like, you know, sat here and we talked about that stuff.
Man, no worries.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And go follow his channel.
Follow the Keen Ramps channel. Follow the Keen Ramps channel.
All right.